What it is and what it do, gang. Welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see, I am playing Undisputed. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with it so far. It is an early access, so we all know what to expect from early access games, and today I will be letting you guys know what I think and feel about it so far. Now, I haven't played the game for too long, just a handful of hours, but I do have some thoughts and interesting points on it so far. So let's get into the character selection real quick, just so I could touch up on some of these points. So some of the things I've noticed, again, remember it is early access. Um, Sometimes when I'm choosing characters, it'll glitch out and put, for example, if I have Jorge Linares here, it'll pick Charlie Edwards, and it won't let me, you know, it won't show Jorge Linares. It'll be picking some random guy. But it's a pretty easy fix. If I move my thing around like this, it'll fix itself. Also, I get frame dips. Uh, I play Battlefield 2042 on Ultra. I play Need for Speed, Forza, or some open world games, things like that. Heavier set games. And I don't get dips on those. Loading times are always smooth, frame rate smooth. I'm on a i7 11th gen, 16 gigs of RAM. I'm on an SSD and I'm on an RTX 3060, so it's a pretty decent setup. Another thing I want to get into real quick. Oh, alright, so here we go. It says Terrence Crawford, but it's clearly not Terrence Crawford. But if I do this, move around a little bit. Here we go. Here's Terrence. Now, my next point that I want to touch on real quick is you can see some of these character models are really, really good. And some of the other ones, not really. Terrence Crawford is one of those for me. I feel like every character should look exactly how they look in real life. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. Like, if you play NBA, you expect LeBron James to look like LeBron James. You play Fight Night, you expect Manny Pacquiao to look like Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So it's a little weird. Some of these models are completely off. Terrence Crawford, there's something about him looks weird to me. Another one, Arturo Gotti. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen Arturo in a lot of games. I've seen him in real life, and I've seen him on fights, and I've seen him in interviews and things like that. And I don't know, that just doesn't sit right with me. He doesn't look how I would expect. Canelo's another one. I've seen a shit ton of interviews of him. Seen him fighting for the last few years. His model doesn't really stack up as good as I would expect. Conor Ben, for example, looks really good. Like down to the details of his tattoos. His hair, his fucking shadowy type style beard. You could tell that's him. That looks pretty decent. Looks pretty close. The worst one for me is probably gonna have to be Ray Leonard. If it wasn't for his signature shorts and gloves and the little afro, you could have fooled me. This shit to me looks nothing like Ray Leonard, other than obviously the outfit and the hair. It's just weird to me. Um, Another thing I'd like to point out, I don't know if you unlock characters as you play through the campaign. Let me hop in real quick with Canelo and put him against one of the goats. Actually, real quick. So here's another one design I really like, another model. Sean Porter looks super fucking accurate to me. I like, how they capture everything. His hair, his braids, his beard, his eyebrows, even how his body shape is. It looks like a spitting image of real life. Even where the body hair grows. Pause. I know this is getting a little too descriptive. Even where the body hair is, screams Sean Porter. You would know this is Sean Porter from a mile away. Now, another thing I noticed is that, for example, where is Kell Brook? So Kell Brook, pause again. Before I even start talking, I would just throw that pause in there. Kell Brook in real life is super cut. He's a really chiseled guy. He looks pretty big. He has that muscle packed on. For some reason here, he looks really slim, not as toned. He doesn't look as big body as he is in real life. And another thing I would like to touch up on is with Fight Night, when you have fighters like James Toney, when they went up in weight class, you could see that weight on them. Their body style and their body shape and their tone and their most of the things would change because they're moving up in weight. That's what you would expect. Level of detail from a game like that. And that's what I was expecting here. So Kell Brook, for example, you see him in welterweight, you go up to middleweight, it's the same thing. He literally just changes weight class. It's the same thing. Another thing I like to point out is Fight Night, when you have fighters that are aged and you have the younger versions. I like that detail. That, for example, it'll show some fighters like look older and they have the younger counterpart. They look younger. Another big issue with me is that I prefer the PS4 controller. That's what I'm used to. I've had PlayStation my whole life. Right now I'm on an Xbox controller just because the game is so bugged out right now with the PlayStation controller. I can't even get a match and the character's literally running around the ring. It's fucking pushing random buttons on the menu. I can't even get into the match half the time. That was a good body shot. So, yeah, if you got a PlayStation 4 controller, I don't know if it's just me or it's something they're working on, but as of right now, for me, my experience, I can't even get a match in with that controller, so good luck with that if you guys only have PlayStation controller. Now that we're in the match, what I want to touch upon, which is the most important thing, is the movement, the gameplay, which is what you focus on in a boxing game. The punches feel weightless, which is how they looked in the videos when I was watching them develop the game. They looked weightless, and I figured they, fix that issue. And maybe to some extent they have worked on it. It has gotten better, but to me it still feels weightless. There's no torque on the punches. They're not sitting on them. A good example I like to use Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia really pivots when he punches. He sits, he rotates his body, he pivots his feet. You could see the weight of his punches when he's doing them. That's what I was expecting from a game like this that's so far ahead of a game like Fight Night, because it's been over a decade since we got the last Fight Night game. Yet, this game didn't really... It doesn't feel like it's that far ahead of it, like it's that many years in advanced technology invested in it. And that kind of bothers me because a fighting game, it's the feel, it's the combat that matters. So now let's get into movement. The movement feels decent, but it does feel sluggish. It feels kind of slow. Obviously, I'm in a heavier weight class with the middleweight guys. So maybe you go down to the lighter weights like welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, things like that. Bantam. Obviously, it's gonna be a little quicker, but overall, there's just something about it that it's just something about it just doesn't feel as smooth. It doesn't flow as smoothly as Fight Night. I'm not saying Fight Night is perfect either, because that's not everybody's cup of tea when it comes to a fighting game. But comparing it to Fight Night, would I take this over Fight Night? I don't think so. They're kind of different because this does feel, I will say, it does feel more leaning towards the like emulator side of it.
This counter puncher is going to wait for
it's somewhere in the middle. It's weird. It's somewhere in the middle between arcade. Oh my god, I almost took Roy's head off. Yeah, it feels somewhere in between. It's not as arcadey as Fight Night, but it's also not emulation. It's somewhere in the middle. It's in a weird ground. Oh, that's beautiful play.
He lands a big right hand.
But it's not all bad. For me, the main point for me that I'm enjoying right now is the audio. It just sounds so crisp, so good. I don't know if it's because I'm on my headphones. If your computer has really good speakers, or you're like on a surround sound or Bluetooth, or I'm going
Looks
down,
like
baby.
this one's gonna be over.
3 seconds on the
What a
clock.
shot that put him down.
Like I said, I'm on my headphones, and it just sounds really good. Like from the ambience of the crowd to the commentators, the referee. I like how the audio is set up. It sounds good. One thing I'll point out is the camera angles. I'd expect, you know, some shakiness. I'd expect some, when you get those counters, you know, in fighting you get those counters, the camera moves a little bit with it. And you just feel the weight of those punches. It's because the camera angle helps with that. Here you get counters. Yeah, it has the flash, but in fighting without the flash, you could tell you got that counter. You feel the weight of the punches. They don't feel like a normal punch. Here you can't really tell. If you remove that flash, it would be almost impossible to tell you got a counter. And focus over here, because this standing up shit is pretty difficult in this game. I'm out. But it's not all bad. You can have fun with it. It's still a fun game. It's still enjoyable. Some of the models have really good detail on them. It's not horrible. It is early access, so let's give it time. Let's hope for the best. Of course, with early access game, it's a risk, because a lot of them promise a bunch of shit you don't get, or they get abandoned early on. You know, some people lose their money on it. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping this game, the studio keeps pushing it and keeps listening to the fans and really improves on it, because right now this is what we got. There's no 100% confirmation on fighting that I know of right now.
So much pre-hype.
There's no date when it's coming, so right now this is what we got, and I'm hoping for the best. I hope people all enjoy it. But I just want to thank you guys for hearing my thoughts and for coming in and joining me today on the channel. Have a good day, and if you guys want to pick it up, 30 bucks. Give it a shot. If you're a diehard boxing fan, this is what we have, and you know, we gotta just stick with it for now. But thank you guys for joining me. Have a good day, and give it a shot, and let me know what you guys think about it in the comments.